And we're live.
I bought this new service called Shudder through Prime Video.
I've got it.
You have Shudder?
Yeah.
So I just added it for the free 7-day thing last night because I wanted to watch one of those. There is nothing between the absolute worst horror on there and then 1 in 20 movies will be like, this is pretty fucking good horror.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like, I watched one called like Cannibal Farm and it was just so retarded. I love bad horror though, so it being retarded isn't that bad. Are you going to keep Shudder? Because I don't think I am at this point. It hasn't won me over. They don't have not enough of a content library of horror films. Otherwise, I'd keep it for sure.
There's just so much shit horror on there that I do need to unsubscribe from it. I need to figure out how, because I've probably been subbed for 3 or 4 months or something like that. The Void is really good. If you want to watch that, it's on there. It's The Void. It's a little low budget, but you don't notice it. It's Lovecraftian horror. It's definitely got that going on.
Is it actually scary, or is it more of like a sci-fi thriller kind of thing? That's what
it's not sci-fi. It's more like a body horror and the occult.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll check that out. I'll probably watch.
I think it's good. It was entertaining. I wanted to talk. I'll wait till Woody gets back, but I got our next topic. I want to talk about that young lady who's a member of our $50 patron club, and the movie that she shared with me the other day.
Oh yes, you teased that before the show. It doesn't even sound like you're telling the truth about what that movie's about. But,
exactly. The premise of the movie is so bonkers that Taylor was like, "Well, that's not a real thing." But
you didn't even give us the title. I didn't even want to look it up. This is an interesting film.
Let me find the title again, because I have already forgotten it.
We're talking about Shudder, Filthy. It's like the SHUDDER. It's this new service on Amazon. It's strictly horror films and horror series. And once they flesh that out and build a bigger content library, I can see myself paying the same amount as Netflix. I would replace Netflix with that. Half the shit I watch on Netflix is shitty horror movies or shitty thrillers that I like. Just mindless nonsense.
I've never gotten into that. Like, my brother's a big horror fan, and I just never really found that a genre that grabbed me. I hate jump scares. Fucking hate them. Like, physiologically, I just don't like the feeling of a jump scare. It just annoys the piss out of me, right?
I prefer psychological fear.
True.
Have you seen Witch or The Witch? Maybe
is that the one with like the Vich, like two V's in it? Yeah, I watched that. That
one's quite good. I don't know exactly what year it is, but think like 1500, 1600, something like that. Pre-colonial America, and this father, his wife, and maybe 3 kids sort of leave the village. They're being cast out of the village for his religious beliefs, and it seems that he's even more religious than they are. It's not that he's evil or anything, and living out on a remote farm by themselves, they have some issues with a witch. And I thought it was pretty good. There's some satanic stuff going on, and
it's definitely more. There's a couple jump scares, but they don't rely on that.
Very few jump scares.
I run into there's a couple things that I don't love either way, right? I watched Hostel a million years ago, right?
Yeah,
that's body horror, right? So
it's essentially a Roth movie.
Yeah, torture porn, exactly. The body horror, where it's like you're getting like zoomed in shit of people's Achilles tendons being cut and shit like that, and I'm just like. I don't want to watch this. like that. I don't like that stuff. And I don't particularly like jump scares either, because it's like I get my body reacts real strong to jump scares. Like I get the real hard acceleration, adrenaline rush, and I just don't fucking like it. It annoys me that
predictable almost. Where like if I'm watching a horror movie, I want to be spooked psychologically, where I'm like, oh man, this is genuinely creepy. It's giving me I saw that character in the back. I got a little I don't even know what
Hereditary is good
called,
for that.
where you just get a chill. But the jump scares, when you do get a jump scare, it's like, what the fuck? Now I know that there's not going to be a jump scare for a while. Like you crested your kind of apex there, and now you blew your wad, and we're going back down again. Whereas if there's a consistent
for me,
high stress level of like that's what you want in a horror movie. You don't want it to be, oh no, there's a ghost now, and it's like, oh okay, awesome. So now I know there's going to be 8 more minutes until there's another guy standing behind the pantry when he gets an apple or something.
I watched some horror movie as a kid at the cinema. I don't remember which one it was, but it was there was the supernatural villain in it was some like doctor, like haunted doctor or some whatever, right? But the way they filmed him, he didn't move fluidly. He didn't move like a human being moved, didn't walk. It was kind of like jolting, like cuts almost as he moved.
That sounds
like
Japanese.
The Girl. Yeah.
And I thought that was really, the first time I encountered that, I'm like, that was scary in the moment to me. And it also wasn't a fucking jump scare, and it stuck with me as something
settling.
Because they really captured that not quite human feel of it. Right, with that cinematography, which I thought was pretty fucking good.
I don't mind some jump scares. I just don't want them to rely on the jump scares, because I love The Exorcist. The Exorcist has jump scares though. Like there's a scene where the mother goes up in the attic to see what all the noise is up there, and the guy's telling her it's not rats, and she's got a candle. Is it called a candelabra? The thing that holds like multiple and she's like trying to see what's going on, and all of a sudden the candles all ignite like gas lanterns, like get really big, and it's a jump scare, but there's not a ton of jump scares.
They don't use it like a crutch.
No, exactly that. There's a lot of The Exorcist is probably my favorite horror movie. I really like The Conjuring. I really like The Descent, the first one with the girls who go spelunking.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one for me. And but this movie this girl just recently recommended, I can't believe I watched it. I shouldn't have watched it. It is. I'll wait for Woody.
I'm excited to get your recap, because all you gave us was like a one phrase thing before the show. No, don't give any hints. Wait for it, because the little hint he gave me was enough to get my wheels turning.
I don't like being manipulated by movies, right? Like I know the whole fucking genre, like the whole thing about movies is this is
a new genre.
New genre? Okay.
You've never seen a movie like this.
Crossover between horror and sex. That's what I'm getting. Those are the two things we've talked about tonight. So it's got to be in between.
There is horrific sex in it. I will say that.
Okay. I think my favorite horror movie of all time is The Thing.
Oh yeah, that's right up there with me too. I love The Thing. I'll take that back. I don't like all John Carpenter stuff, because some of his shit I just really do dislike. But I like that one a lot. It's one of my favorite movies. I've seen it 30 times probably. Fucking McCready, played by Kurt Russell, is so goddamn good. Yeah. And then the creature itself and the way it works and the rules behind it are really cool. Them sort of turning on each other and nobody knowing who's the thing is a cool aspect of the movie. I love that. And the location.
Was this the Antarctica one, or
it is? They made a prequel / remake maybe 5 years ago that relied heavily on CGI, but the original is all in camera. Like all the special effects are in camera. We talked about this not that long ago, but one of the coolest shots for me, there's a body that's like been infected. And there's a doctor on the Antarctic like base, and he's got the paddles, to the defibrillator paddles, and he goes to like apply them. And when he does, the chest opens up like jaws, and his hands go into the body cavity, and the jaws bite his arms off. And so he pulls away these two stubs, and he's screaming. They achieved that visual by using an actor who didn't have arms. Like they put fake arms on a guy with stumps, whatever. Really? And then he puts that into the jaws, and then it literally bites the fake arms off. And so he pulls away his actual stumps, and he's going, ah! And it looks so real, because it is. I mean, a body didn't bite his arms off. Well, it did. A body did bite his arms off, technically.
Yeah, that's definitely up there. I wouldn't put American Psycho as a horror movie. I'd put that as a thriller. I think.
Thriller. I would say.
I'm sure I understood that movie. I watched it a million years ago, but it left me with a lot of questions. I'm like, what the fuck?
It requires two watchings about what's actually going on. They intentionally film it. They would film like there's the interrogation scenes with Willem Dafoe speaking to Christian Bale's character, and they would have Willem Dafoe do 3 different takes. One,
so many fucking good films.
Yeah, they would do one take where Willem Dafoe knows that Christian Bale did it, and he would do it that way. And then they would do another where he doesn't know who did it, and then they would do another where he believes Christian Bale is completely innocent, and then they would chop all 3 up and mix them together. So you get this weird thing where you're like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I remember that being the feeling I walked away from the movie. Was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, that movie has a lot of turns like that. When he just loses it at the end and just starts murdering homeless people. How are you doing? Mr. Bates or whatever. He just blows the guard's head off.
And I love how fucked up whatever he did to those prostitutes was, where she was just like, "We're never coming back here."
Yeah, we're never coming back here.
This
No
was a
matter how
big
much
mistake.
money you have. Yeah, that movie.
So what
conversation did I walk into?
Horror movies.
Horror
That was
movies.
about how Kyle met his current girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get out that old clothes iron, straighten her out, get the blowtorch, and have a good time. So we were talking about horror movies, and I was talking about one of our $50 patrons. I was talking to her about movies and horror movies specifically, and I think I recommended a couple to her. I was like, watch Event Horizon
That was a good one.
And maybe The Void. I might have recommended that one to her too. And she was like, have you ever heard of The Strange Thing About the Johnsons? And I was like, no, what's that like? And she's like, oh, it's a good one. It's made by the same guy who made Hereditary. And I was like, well, Hereditary wasn't my favorite horror movie, but it was definitely a really well-made horror movie, and I respect it. So, all right, I'm going to go watch The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. Well, it is a half-hour, roughly, short film made in 2011, made by Ari Aster. And the premise is, all right, let me walk you through this. One of the opening scenes, one of the early scenes of the movie.
Please.
Young black kid, maybe 13 years old. He's in bed. He's jerking off, and he's got a little bit of jerk material that he's looking at. This is
porn.
No, this is. Oh yeah. What he's looking at,
as opposed to lotion. I'm trying to get my hands around jerk.
I thought you were saying like I was describing a porno.
Oh,
I
no,
got a little confused at first. So essentially, you see he's holding something.
I have a lot of supplies when I jerk off. There's a whole host.
I understand.
Yeah,
it's like a tackle box.
Gotta
get the poppers, everything. So he's jerking off. You can start to see his hand moving under the blankets, and he's holding something that he's looking at, some visual stimulation. And his father walks in and catches him. And it's a little awkward. And the dad comes up and he's like, "Hey, look, this is completely natural, right? Like, look, you're growing up, you're becoming a man. I get it. Just hey, don't let your mom catch you. That'll be embarrassing. But look, just keep the door closed. I'll knock from now on." They had that talk. Really, really good stuff. The dad handles it perfectly or whatever. The dad leaves, and the kid looks back at his jerk material. Anyone want to take a guess what he was looking at?
I won't say. I just read the synopsis, and that was a roller coaster ride.
Nope.
He's looking.
I'm probably wrong. Was it gay porn? Is it just as simple as that?
He's looking at a picture of his dad. He's looking at a picture of his dad. That's what he's jerking off to.
Okay.
So then we go forward in time. Keep in mind, it's a short film.
Wasn't
30,
this fortuitous?
minutes.
This worked out better for him than he thought.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see.
Yeah. So he begins to systematically rape his father over the course of their lives. At his wedding, the son's getting married, and he's got his bride next to him. His mom and dad are there. They're posing for the picture, and the son is grabbing the dad's ass in the back. He's like, yeah, getting him a big handful of daddy ass. And then he takes his dad in the back, like in this hidden area. And he's like mouth fucking the dad, like raping his mouth in the back. And the dad is super ashamed of all this. He's literally being raped by the son, but he can't tell anyone. And there's scene where the dad is taking a bath. He's just trying to get away from all the rape. And he's, I want to say it was a scene where he didn't know the son was still in the house. Maybe they had like a dinner party, and the son should have gone home with his own wife, but the son like breaks a picture frame out, and he goes, "I'm going to stay and clean this up," to his wife, and his wife leaves. So it's just him, his mother, and his father in the home now. And so the dad is in the bathtub. He's got a headset on like I do, and he's listening to some music. He's relaxing in the fucking bathtub, and the son starts knocking on the door. But the dad doesn't hear it. Well, this enrages the son. He goes, "You know how I feel about locked doors." And you're just like, "Oh, no, what's he really do?"
Is rapey.
And the son starts bashing the door down with his shoulder, and the door is like splintering, like the frame of the door, and he comes into the room, and the dad goes, "Ah!" and then you just cut away to the mother upstairs in bed, like watching television, sitting on the edge of the bed, going, turning the volume up. She knows. Up, to cover the screams of the father while he's getting ass raped down in the bathroom below.
Is that how it ends?
This is entertainment.
Oh no, the ending. I'm gonna spoil the ending. Anyone who's not gonna watch the movie,
I would never watch this.
I'm not gonna
exactly.
watch this.
That's why I usually don't spoil endings but this one I don't think anyone's gonna watch. But if you're gonna watch it, cut away right now. It'll take me like 30 seconds to tell the ending. Now, all right. So the ending is the dad is writing his story. He's like writing it in a memoir and on his computer about how this all happened. It's called "It Hurts to Sit." The Johnson family story, and he's got it all written out how this all happened and why he's afraid and ashamed and all this. And the son catches him with it, and he grabs it, and the dad does, and starts running out of the house, runs across the street, and a fucking truck hits him right there, fucking kills him dead right in the street. And the son is holding his bloody body, crying. And that's how it ends.
Wow.
So do you still have contact with this person to recommend this to you?
Yeah.
So how did the dad get raped the first time? Was the son bigger and stronger from the get-go? Is that the scoop?
Yeah. Son's a muscular young man. Look, I watch this shit and I go back to her. Again, for Woody's benefit, this is one of our $50 patrons. This is one of the wonderful people who we hang out with every month. Yeah. And I'm just like, why the fuck did you send that to me? I watched it. Why would you send that to me? I sent you fun movies. Sam Neill was in that movie. That
was a real movie.
That was a real movie. Like it's. You sent me an incest, rape, black family, gay short film that has ruined my evening.
This is. Why would you make?
What was the answer? What was the answer? I pay you $50. I own you.
Like, I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny. Was her answer?
She loves it. She loved it.
I mean, it doesn't sound funny.
No, it sounds the opposite of funny.
She's great. She's a very.
There's no jump scares. It sounds like though.
Not a jump scare at all. No. Yeah. Just a lot of incestuous gay rape.
Yeah, familial rape. Is there even a word for that? You know how it's like
incest?
Filicide if you kill your son, like patricide if you kill your father. What is it if you rape your own father?
Patrifuckery. I don't know.
I'm not Googling that.
No, you know what? I
think that's on Woody. Doesn't he do the fact checking?
I've stopped.
For reasons like this.
It's so fucked. I want to try to find like an image of it that sort of like spells out like how awkward it is. Yeah, perfect. Give me just like 10 seconds to get it to
images of it. Let me see. I want to see him grabbing his dad's ass. And
I'm not going to show you anything like you wouldn't want to see.
Yeah, some assumptions about what I want to see.
Is this something I could stream on Twitch?
I don't know about the legality of it, but it'd be hilarious.
Is it on what do you pull out of that? What's the Amazon list for that called, Taylor?
A wish list?
No. You're limited to
the watch party thing. Yeah. I would only want to do it if I could find it on YouTube. The Strange Thing About the Johnsons.
So I guess that kid gets bigger and stronger.
All movies on YouTube 8 years ago. I could watch this. I don't know if I want to though.
Wait, you can watch old movies that are on YouTube?
If it's on YouTube, you can watch it
on Twitch.
Yeah, like the Hoarders episodes I'm watching are from like 2011. Like A&E at one point like decided like, all right, after a certain number of years, we just upload for free all episodes from other seasons because it's a smart move for them to keep the SEO good on things like that, and so they don't mind you watching old stuff. So, but like if I wanted to watch new seasons of 60 Days In. And I signed in with my cable login, I can't stream that. They would shut that right down because they don't have that available for free. So, okay. But yeah, the Strange Thing About the Johnsons, that's free, 30 minutes. Let's see if I can find let's find the bath scene. Here it is.
I hated it so much. I hated it more than I've hated anything in a long, long time. I would rather buy $35 nipples every day this week than watch that movie again.
I guess I won't see it because you did capture my interest with it.
It's 29 minutes
trick Jackie into watching it with you and just act like you love it. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. Remember when I showed you Lord of the Rings for the first time? Buckle up.
I just found the scene where the son's smiling all big at his wedding, and he's got a big fistful of dad ass, and you see the dad just and the son beaming. I don't want to watch this.
Your stream does now.
But this is how I feel like this is how I feel like 99% of horror movies is exactly what you're describing. I'm like, why would I want to go through that? Like, what do I get from that? What is my bonus? What do I take? What's my take home from this that I like? Why am I doing?
I don't think there's going to be any happy take home from this. Kyle described it, from what I can tell from the Wikipedia article, exact to a T, except at the end, it doesn't end with the father dying. According to this, it ends with the son going into the living room and the mom stabbing him, and then he tries to force her into the fireplace, and then she stabs him to death, and then it ends. Right?
I stopped watching. Frank,
you didn't watch to the end?
You watched what, 23 and a half minutes of a 25-minute film? And you're like, no.
I stopped watching when the father dies in the street being held by I was just like, you know what, enough. I didn't know there was more. I didn't know there was. I thought that was the end. The camera kind of pans up. I was like, that's it. That's all right. Enough. I'm going to go watch some fucking Looney Tunes to wash my brain of this filth that this girl has put upon me.
I can even tell from the body language, this is some rough acting. Is it?
I didn't think so. I didn't think the acting was that bad.